In this section, we'll learn about volume and surface area. So let's start with volume of a rectangular solid or a cube. Volume is length times width times height. Now for a cube, because all of the sides are the same, it would be side times side times side, and they'll call that side cubed. This is an example of a cube over here. Okay, you can see how the length has 3 cubes, the width is 3, the height is 2. So if you want to know the total volume, it would be 3 times 3 times 2, which is 18 cubes. And volume is reported in cubic inches, cubic feet, whatever it may happen to be. So let's look at an example. It says you're about to begin work on a swimming pool in your yard. The first step is to have a hole dug that is 90 feet long, 60 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. You will use a truck that can carry 10 cubic yards of dirt and charges $35 per load. How much will it cost you to have all the dirt hauled away? Okay, the first thing you need to notice is it's doing cubic yards, okay? And we have done our measurements in feet. So the first thing we need to do is to change those, okay? There are 3 feet in a yard. So if we take 90 and we divide it by 3, we find out that that is 30 yards. Similarly, if we take 60 and divide it by 3, okay, because there are 3 feet in a yard, that becomes 20 yards. And if we take 6 and divide it by 3, that becomes 2 yards. So what we have is a hole that is 30 yards by 20 yards by 2 yards. Okay. So now we want the volume of that. Okay, so length times width times height, then we are doing it in yards, is going to be 30 times 20 times 2. And when we multiply that out, we get 1,200, and this would be cubic yards, okay? Because yards times yards times yards gives you cubic yards, and volume is reported in cubic metrics, okay? So now it says find the number of truckloads by dividing the number of cubic yards of dirt by 10. All right, so each truckload carries 10 cubic yards and we have 1,200. So we're just going to divide that by 10 to see how many loads we're going to need. We are going to need it to carry 120 different loads. Now don't forget that that costs $35 per trip. So we do 120 times 35 and we find out that it is going to cost us $4,200 to haul that dirt away. Look at one more example. Using the formula for a pyramid volume. Okay, so it says the Transamerica Tower in San Francisco is a pyramid with a square base. That means these sides are going to be equal because it's a square. Okay, it is 256 meters tall. So we know the height. Okay, that's going to be our H. And the square base is 52 meters long. So we know that each side is 52. Okay, all the way around the square. Find its volume. Well, here is the formula for volume of a pyramid. It is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. That capital B means area of the base. Okay, now that area of the base, let's look at that first. That is going to be equal to length times width, right? Or it's a square. So 52 times 52. And that will give us the area of the base. That is 2,704 meters squared. Okay, it was in meters and area is squared. All right, so now we've got the area of the base. Let's follow the formula. We're ready. The volume is going to be equal to 1/3 times the area of the base, 2,704 meters squared, times the height, and the height was 256 meters. So we need to multiply all that out, and you end up with 230,741 meters cubed. Now remember, because it is volume, it is reported in cubic meters.